Good morning, everyone, again, and welcome to our webinar. Thank you for joining us today. We're very excited to talk about this exciting topic. And the topic of today is how to take collaboration and productivity to the next level. We have with us today to help in the presentation Teoman from Klaxoon, and myself, Izzat from Cloud for Work. Just before we start, we're going to talk a little bit about, so we are using Teams, and we are showing you on the screen a Klaxoon board that we're going to use to present our webinar today. We want to encourage you also to use the the chat, the meeting chat, to post all your question and answers, and that we will answer at the end. So just Teoman, if you can go back a little bit to the speaker, just to kind of present yourself, myself. So myself, I'm from Cloud for Work. I'm the managing partner of Cloud for Work, and we are a Microsoft partner focused on adoption and change management, which means we help customers who have invested in Office 365 make the most out of it, and we help them with improving collaboration and productivity. With me today is Teoman. Teoman is from Klaxoon. So Teoman, I leave you just to introduce yourself a little bit.
Yes, of course. So first, I'm really glad to be part of this webinar, and thanks so much, Cloud for Work, for inviting me. So I'm thrilled to see our partnership live. So about myself, I joined Klaxoon a few months ago. I belong to the international team, and I'm in charge of the Middle East region. So yeah, thanks again for your warm welcome.
Okay, great. So if we move to the agenda, so we have a very rich agenda today. So first, quickly, we're going to just talk about today workplace challenges. Then what is the Klaxoon, the benefit, the value, and the added value that it brings on top of Teams and Microsoft solutions. Then we will show you how it works. So this is important you'll be experiencing throughout the webinar using the tool, but it's important also to show you how to access Klaxoon through Teams. Teams being a de facto collaboration tool today. What are the Klaxoon features and benefits, also that you can see them live. Also important, we will talk, Teoman will cover use cases. So we have very important 2 use cases with major organizations globally. So we have Schneider Electric as well as Microsoft itself. And of course, we leave to the end a very special offer that we have for our webinar attendees that we're going to talk about it. And again, we encourage you to post all your questions on the chat, and we will be posting them on the board as well. What we're going to add to the webinar is we give you the opportunity to participate. So towards the end as well, we'll invite you all to join our board, to participate, collaborate, add your ideas, post your questions. That will also give you a good experience of the tool that we're talking about. So just to start quickly, on the challenges. So today, workplace challenges. So with the one, if you just can play the slides, yes. So we're not going to cover a lot about Cloud for Work, but just to set the scene. So we work with a lot of organizations in the Middle East, so around 120 customers, where we have delivered adoption and change management. And that's important because we capture a lot of feedback, we capture a lot of challenges that our clients are facing using Microsoft tools, using productivity, collaboration, given the current situation of COVID, of the hybrid setup. So we collect a lot of information and feedback from our customers. Now that's important because even in today's session, we will talk about the challenges that we see in our current region, and with challenges that we see from our clients who have been using Microsoft tools, and what are the gaps that they're facing and how we can help them with that. So next, again, here we have a lot of industry experience in different industries, which also give us a very broad view on the challenges from different industries. So what we see in the recovery time, we can almost say that we are in the recovery phase with the vaccination drives and the employees coming back to the office. So the recovery is obviously digital. I mean, we learned about that during the COVID situation, but it's very important. Everyone realized that we have to be digital, we have to digitalize, we have to use properly all the technologies in hand. So here we are saying that the two main components of the recovery is modernize your office. We are all agree that we need to have modern tools, modern ways of communication, meetings, to cope with the changes in the environment and be agile. And more importantly is to enable our employees. You know, we cannot just activate new technologies and expect employees to adopt those technologies. So these are really the two very important aspects to think of in the recovery phase. So now we're talking about the meetings environment. So specifically, we drill down into the meetings environment. We are all now learning this new word of the hybrid environment. And hybrid means some are I mean, we are meeting in hybrid environment. What does it mean? Some are in face-to-face environment in the office. Some are working remotely. And sometimes we have both. So this is be bringing a lot of challenges from a communication, productivity, collaboration, and this is something that we need to solve, and this is kind of the new reality that we need to also solve. The second thing about this is the majority of the meetings are passive and not engaging, and this is not only from Cloud for Work, but Harvard Business Review is confirming those two statements. So the most challenging aspect of virtual meetings is to keeping people's attention. So we can easily lose people's attention. They could be behind the camera, they could be camera off, they could be muted. So all these meetings are, keep them engaging is becoming very, very challenging. And this is one of and this is today's meeting environment, if we'd say. So what are people asking us? I mean, what are our customers asking for? Yes, next, please, Tilman. So here we have the three top asks that we get from our clients. So of course, given the new meeting environment. So how to reduce the number of meetings? So here we have users are saying we are back-to-back meetings all day long. We don't have time to do the actual work. We're just sitting in meetings. And of course, here is not about just reducing the meeting, but there are new ways of collaboration. There are new tools to help us reduce the meetings. And we're going to see that in Klaxoon as well. You know, when we have boards where we have all the content put in one place, where people can work on it in an asynchronous way, when you can at any point in time check the progress of a project, check the feedback, the ideas, brainstorm and all these things. So you don't need to meet all the time, and this will reduce a lot the number of meetings. The second big ask is how to bring back office interactions. So we've been all through brainstorming sessions using Post-it. We've been all through collaboration on documents and Word and Excel in a face-to-face. So how are we going to bring back those interactions? And we see that some of the online just video tools are lacking these benefits. And of course, how to handle hybrid meetings. So it's very, very common today to have a couple of people online, a couple of other people in the office, and how can we bridge this gap and make sure that we have a hybrid environment. So that's what I wanted to say to set the scene, that bit just from a webinar perspective, and to introduce the Klaxoon topic. So with that, Teoman, I'll pass it to you to tell us a little bit about Klaxoon. How is it solving all these challenges, and of course the benefits and the value of the solution.
Yeah, thank you, Azat. Thank you. So again, you can see my screen, so I can just select these slides, and again, I'm able to play directly the slides. So what is our mission at Klaxoon? So it's really to answer to one of the major challenges for company, which is global collaboration among teams. And it's true that when we talk about collaboration, we are talking about all the times when people are working on a common subject. So it can be meetings, workshop, but also project management, training. And our goal is really simply to make these times more efficient, whatever the place, the job, or the topic dealt with. So we have been launched in 2015 we are now used by millions of teams in more than 120 countries in all types of companies. So as you can see on the slide, we cover different industry, from tech company with, for example, Microsoft, or health industry with Pfizer, to luxury industry with LVMH, for example, or even consulting groups with Deloitte. So for your information, we cover not only all the top 40 French companies, but also foreign companies and enterprises. So you can see at the bottom of the slide different awards. So we have received numerous international awards. You can see the 4 CES Innovation Awards. And we have also, and we are really proud of it, we have the confidence of the greatest players in the market. So Klaxoon, just for your information, as you know, as you probably know, we're integrated into Microsoft Teams, and we have been rewarded as Microsoft Partner of the Year worldwide as the best app integrated in Teams. What we can see globally is that organizations are facing today 2 main challenges. On one side, they are organized, through distributed teams. So it's 70% of projects are now run with remote contributors. So it's true that there is an acceleration with massive remote working for a few months, but it was already the case before, with multi-site, multi-country, and multi-project teams. The second challenge is that uncertainty and rhythm of business is accelerating. So we must be reactive as we are moving from before yearly planning to weekly decision making. And on the other side, we notice that we spend most of our time in meetings that are not efficient enough, with top-down information and no decision making. And so companies must adapt. They must adopt new ways of working, new methods, and new technologies to change pace and to stay ahead of the situation. But the good news is that efficient and successful methods exist to meet these challenges. And it's true that to develop Klaxoon and power day-to-day collaboration, we use these methods that you can see on your screen and make them accessible to everyone in one place. So quickly, what are these methods? The first one, it's obviously visual management. So it's a method that allows you to share and structure information visually. The second one, it's agile methods. So you probably know them. We speak about design thinking, SWOT matrix, a variety of tried and tested work methods that help to first stimulate creativity, second, improve problem solving and decision making. And the last one, it's team rituals. So we use a lot of them at Klaxoon. These are short and regular synchronization methods, daily or weekly, that will create alignment and agility within teams and organizations. So Klaxoon, you can see on the top of the screen, is a complete suite of collaborative tools based on these methods and allows you to implement them simply in your daily life, whether the location, whatever the topic dealt with, and the size of the team. And Klaxoon's flagship tool, and we will see that in a few minutes, it's called Board. So what I can say now is that first, so Board is a whiteboard with unlimited size where the team can easily share ideas, prioritize them, and organize them visually. Second, and you will see that also, Board is easy to learn. So you can start with ready-to-use model and let yourself be guided by tutorials. And then after, you can obviously customize the activity just with a few clicks. And finally, Board integrates advanced functionalities to go further in the use. When and in what context you can use Klaxoon? So Klaxoon is the all-in-one solution for all moments of collaboration. So any types of meeting, daily, weekly, any types of project. So we can speak about global project management, tasks planning, prioritization, risk management, any types also of workshop, brainstorming, ideation, and finally, also all kinds of training sessions. So from gamified training courses to coaching, online courses, e-learning, micro-learning, blended learning. So it's true that we are going to cover different types of collaboration. And just to conclude about Klaxoon presentation, I wanted to say that this is the professional collaborative environment that adapts to your need and ambition, with first a consulting part, so an offer of services, and for example, in your region, it will be Cloud for Work, to support you first in the adoption of the solution and also in the transformation of your practices. Second, and it's a main topic nowadays, it's obviously security. So our tools are both secure and really easy to access. So there is, and you will see that again during the presentation, nothing to install, accessible from any type of screen. Second, integrations with Microsoft, but also other players. And we are not just a software provider, but also a hardware provider with product. You can see on the right the meeting board, so it's kind of an interactive screen with Klaxoon in it. So I hope it was clear for all of you. So now I'm going to show you how to use Klaxoon within Teams. So it's going to be quite easy. So here I am in Teams, obviously. We use Teams, sorry, at Klaxoon. So you just need here to create a team. It's what we call a channel. So we can say, okay, can give a name like Klaxoon Cloud for Work, create. After you will have to select, the different people, but we are going to skip it. And as soon as you have, your channel created, you have this plus button. And now you will have a list of different apps coming up. So we can see directly Klaxoon here. If you can't find it, you can write Klaxoon directly here. And here you will be able to select Klaxoon and to add directly Klaxoon to the and you will find all the the different activities that you launch. Now I'm going to select this one. So maybe I can give you some information regarding this template. It's called the weekly template, and the objective is really for everyone to share different ideas. So finished or future action, highlights. And this is information that every member finds useful for the team, and it helps everyone synchronize. So once person launches the board, as I did, I will be able to range it with the contributors who can access to it via a code or an invitation. So I will do it later, but by clicking at the bottom on the left, you can share with your audience the different connection links. So first you can click on it and you copy paste this one, or also you are able to share a QR code and people can flash the QR code and access directly to the board, even with a smartphone. Or even previously to your meeting, you are able here to invite people. So you just have to write down their name. And for example, here I can invite Séverine. And she will receive this email, she will be able to connect. And after here, I can see the number of participants, and even I can display directly the list of connected participants. You can give the co-animator role to one or several participants by clicking on the drop-down list, then choosing host. Here, I'm able also to say that I want Séverine to be a co-animator on this board. Really quickly, here you can display timers. So, the idea is to be efficient, just to make sure that you keep, the timing. This part is quite interesting. It's a template. So I'm going to show you a few things, but it's just to show you how you can manage quickly the board and the templates. So you can access here to ready-to-use templates library of collaborative methods. So you have more than 150 templates that are currently available for meeting, project management, training, team management. So these methods are inspired by practices from our user community and really popular agile methods. So they are ranked by topic or a goal. So you can see that how to facilitate and boost meeting, call an effective and participatory meeting, Otherwise, you can think about categories. So you have project management, strategic analysis tools, design thinking. So maybe I want, to find a template related to brainstorming. I just have to click on brainstorming and say, okay, I want this one. And here you will find all the information that you need just to have, all the, the content related to this template. So you have tutorials, you have videos, you have, some content just to understand exactly what this template is. You have this kind of preview, so you can see just quickly if it fits your needs. And if you want to use it, you just had to click on Use Template. And when you create it, it will import the template directly in your dashboard, in your studio, and after you will be able to customize it. So I hope it is clear. So I will go back on the board directly within Klaxoon. And what I wanted to show you here, so I shared with you, the template, but just to tell you that here you will be able to find additional patterns. So really quickly, if you think about, the SWOT matrix, you are able to select a SWOT matrix here, for example, and you can start working from that. Or you can say, no, I want also to work on a retrospective one. So again, you just have to click, and after you will be able, to start working from that. So just to let you know that you are not starting from scratch, that you will be able afterwards to play with different templates. And after, I'm not going to go through all the details, but really quickly, you can start writing things. You can enlarge this like this. You can change, obviously, the color. So I think you understood that, the possibilities are quite wide here. And just to go back to the weekly template, and you will play with that. So I'm going to show you a different way of practicing, at the end. But if you have to remember of one thing, it's really this plus button, and it will allow you, to create new ideas. So you can add some text, for example, here. So I'm going to create, my own column because it's a weekly meeting. So these are the people related to my team. Again, really quickly, you can share photos, pictures, and say, okay, now I want this photo here. So now I had kind of a complete profile. And obviously after you can say, okay, project 1, and let's say that you will change the color depending, on the related sense of the different things. And for the project 1, just for you to know that in this example, I'm also able to add additional information. So it's something that you can set up just to be more precise. So this project, for example, it's related to me. I'm starting to work on it today. And you can say, okay, it's a Cloud for Work project, for example. Here, of course, and I'm not going to do that on my idea, but you are able, for example, if you, for example, like this one, you will be able also to like the idea. And again, it's a way to prioritize. To get feedback, you can say also, you can add a question. So I'm going to ask, for example, Séverine, are you okay with that project, for example? So I can say vote, yes or no, and Séverine will be able to receive, these questions. So again, that's why we're speaking about collaboration. So it's not only, sharing ideas, it's also to be able to get, again, feedback. It's also to get some, a sense of what people think about one project. And that's why it will allow you also to make any decision on that. And after, I'm able to see the answer. So Séverine said yes to that. And on my side, she has also asked me a few questions. And again, I can say, no, I don't like this agenda, for example. And again, we can speak about it later on. So I think I cover all the things that I wanted to say. So I will go back to the, again here. So now I'm going to speak about two use cases. So they did exactly what I've just done at the end. They use, Klaxoon within Teams. So the first one that I wanted to share with you, it's Schneider Electric. So just a little bit of context. So Schneider Electric is a European multinational company providing energy and automation, digital solutions for efficiency and sustainability. Just a few words about the company. It's a technology-oriented company with a distributed workforce in 100 countries, employ more than 135,000 people all over the world, so it's quite big. Regarding the contact person, we are in contact in this case with Alban Jacquin, so he's the global learning experience leader at Schneider Electric. So he is in charge of improving learning experience for all Schneider Electric employees worldwide. And his team is composed with 7 persons that work from 4 different locations across the board. And he also animates a community of 500 internal trainers worldwide. So as you probably understand, challenges are quite numerous. We spoke about it just before, distributed teams with multiple time zones. Second, he had to organize remote workshop with challenges to engage everyone from the distance. The content had to be distributed in multiple locations, emails, reports, Excel spreadsheet. And for the 500 internal trainers, they were asked, to switch from a face-to-face approach to a digital approach, with the necessity, of course, to upgrade the skill set. And at the end, adaptation was obviously key, with the ability to work asynchronously. As far as the objectives and results are concerned, the main goal was the digital transformation of learning. And in detail, what does it mean exactly? It means making learning stickier within the organization. So fight what we call the forgetting curve. So I think we all witnessed that because we know in learning context that the forgetting curve shows that a learner will forget an average of 80% of what he has learned within the following 5 days. So we wanted to make learning more efficient. So what Alban Jacquin called sticky learning, how to keep learners' attention during the whole learning process. So they had to accelerate the digital transformation of learning because of the pandemic. And they achieved to digitize over 80% of the learning activity thanks to Klaxoon. And again, they were at 45% just a few months before. So how did Schneider Electric achieve this amazing performance? So they simply made Klaxoon and Teams, as we just saw, at the center of the learning project to improve design and quality of learning. So quickly, they created a Teams channel to centralize all the information available for all team members. They shared documents and created Klaxoon activities. As we saw, Klaxoon boards were used directly in the Teams channel to manage learning projects and make decisions. They benefit from Klaxoon templates with, for example, icebreakers to launch meetings. They move to an agile approach to manage projects on a daily basis. And for example, they organize also, we saw the retrospective pattern. So they organize a retrospective session at the end of each project to follow up achievements and improve the process. And at the end, they use also, because we are able to provide you that, quizzes, surveys, and live questions during their daily meeting to engage participants and make faster decisions. And to fight the forgetting curve, they included learning in the flow of work of all employees. And at the end, they also tested knowledge. So you will see that on the screen. It's quite interesting to see. It's called the Klaxoon Adventure. It's kind of a gamified quiz that you can launch before, during, after the workshop, just to make sure that people understood the messages and the content. And at the end, they use board to create real-time interaction and dynamize collaborative learning. So again, just a focus on the results and benefits. 80% of all learning is now digital, and thanks to Klaxoon. More than 10,000 activities have been created in 16 languages, thanks to Klaxoon easy-to-use experience. Before, it took something like 3 to 6 months to create an e-learning course. And today, learning experience is simple, inclusive, participative. So you can see on the screen the ROI, over 1.5 million US dollar for the year. And just for you to better understand it, it comes from the cost reduction if they had, to buy learning software or outsource learning development. So I hope it's quite clear for you. And I wanted now to share a second use case. And I think it's quite interesting to see that, because it's great to see that Microsoft is not only a partner for us, but it's also a customer. So that means that if they use us, by not finding the right tool internally, that means that they perceive, the value proposition of Klaxoon. So in this case, our contact is really Dylan Singer. So he's the worldwide director of customer engagement. His team is called Catalyst Envisioning, and its mission are: first, to change how to engage with customers and prospects. Second, help customers better leverage Microsoft technology. Third, guide them through digital transformation journey, and at the end also to use design thinking methodology to help them determine, how the future of business could look like. So regarding the issues, and I think we faced that especially last year, due to the pandemic, they had to take customer engagement methodology full remote. So how did they use Klaxoon to reach their goal? Their approach was first to focus on what the customer need is, and second, help customer to define a clear vision. So before the pandemic, workshops were conducted obviously face-to-face in a room using paperboards and sticky notes. And as getting people in one room was not possible anymore, they opened a Teams channel, again, as you can see on the screen, and used Klaxoon to deliver workshop in full remote worldwide. So they use Klaxoon facilitation feature and design thinking templates, such as the creative matrix that you can see again on the screen. So the benefits are the following ones. First, workshops are more inclusive and interactive with live questions. Second, more effective with the ability to rank idea easily using the like function. So you remember that you have an idea, you can click on it, and you have this heart that you can. So you are able to see exactly, the most interesting ideas. Customer feedback is also very positive regarding the methods and the tool. And I think it's interesting to say that it's not only internally that you will use Klaxoon, but you can use also Klaxoon externally for your partners, for your customers. And at the end, Klaxoon boards in team channel means one single location to meet and work remotely with customers. So yes, so this is it for me regarding the two use cases. Maybe Ezat, you can take over the sync and maybe share with us, your kind of special offer.
Yeah, sure. So thank you, Teoman, for a great presentation and a demo, and of course the value that we see from Klaxoon, especially on top of Teams or integrated with Teams. So to show you, I mean, to continue on that same spirit, what we're offering from Cloud for Work is really a special webinar offer. So for the attendees of the webinar, and what we are offering is first 3 months trial from Klaxoon, and that's offered by Klaxoon. But it's what is more important to help you onboard on the tool. We're offering you a free consultancy workshop, actually 2 workshops. So the first one is to explore your business scenario, understand what are you planning to do in your workshop, or what are you planning to do in your meetings, and what are maybe the gaps and challenges that you're facing with the current tools. And the second workshop is to take the tool itself, Klaxoon, and demo some of the scenarios that were identified. So show you that, for example, you could use how to structure the board into the relevant with relevant sections, maybe to use a survey before and after, or the mechanism of liking the post during the workshop and all these things. So we'll help you in the second workshop to actually build with you the board and use the different tools that are available from Klaxoon, so that you can be confident in delivering your first workshop with Klaxoon. And of course, here, just to remind you, I mean, as Cloud for Work, we are a services partner to Klaxoon, so we could help you in setting it up, deploying different scenarios, as well as onboarding, training all your users once you decide to use it across your organization. So for that, you can get in touch we'll give you the 3 months. We also have here on the board the link to the page that actually where you can subscribe. Just put your email and subscribe to the free trial, which will also we will get to know as well, and then we can contact you for the 2 free workshops. And that link will be also shared on the meeting chat, and it is on the board. So having said that, now I think we come to the a very interesting part of our webinar, which is really the option to interact with all of you now on the call. So we've been using the board, as you can see, that has all the content of the whole workshop, and which is like Teoman was showing, you can easily invite people to join. And this is done by inviting people with their email if you have it. But also a very nice feature is that you can click on that board, and this link and that QR code will allow anyone who has this link and this QR code anywhere in the world to join the board. And what I mean by join is for you to be able to post your ideas, like your ideas, and participate in surveys, and check all the content of the board, and also add your content. So of course, here, depending on the workshop that you're doing, the orchestrator or the moderator will be explaining, what are the expectations from the users and so on. So for today's board, what we want you to do is please join on that QR code if you are joining from your mobile, or click on or take that link to join from your laptop. It will be posted on the chat, and you can go on the board, and then here we have a section for open talk sessions. So we have here already the questions that were asked. You can go ahead and add your questions. So the same way like I'm doing now. So I can say, how do we set up Klaxoon, for example, through Teams? And that could be a question that you want to put. Okay, put your name, and then send. So I've just added now a question to the board. So this is how you can add questions. So please, I encourage you to join us on the board and put in your questions.
Yeah, maybe I can show you. I mean, it's again here. You can write a question, and after you just have to click on this arrow to publish, the question or the idea.
Yeah.
And here you have the connection link.
So while people are joining, we can also start answering the question, Teoman, that we have already.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So we can start from the top left. So does my team have to purchase a license to use Klaxoon? So Teoman, you want to take that question?
Yeah. Yes, of course. It's true that just to make it clearer, so as participants, you don't need a license to join. So here, for example, people join directly the board. You don't need to have a license or to pay for a license. So we can say that it's free for participants. And after, if you want to create or if you want to animate an activities, if you want to, as we saw, upload some templates and start creating activities, board and everything, you will need a license. So the model is maybe different from other players. Again, if you're an animator, if you want to create things, animate, you will need a license. But again, if you do something with hundreds of people, just for you to know that if they are just following the presentation, they can even share ideas, but they are not again an animator, but a participant. They will not need to buy a license.
The second question is it possible to create my own template? So I think I can just answer that. So of course, once you create your environment, it could be your weekly structure or any setup that you create on the board and that you think is useful to be replicated and used again, whether by yourself or by other team members, then you can make out of it a template. And that's very important because, for example, you are delivering a certain workshop which has to be repeated every week, or it's a weekly meeting, or and you create it, then you can share it with among your colleagues to be reused. So that's very easily done. The third questions we have here is, can I use Klaxoon during a face-to-face meeting with my team? So maybe Theoman, you want to take that one.
Yeah, yes, of course, it's true that prior to the pandemic, people usually use Klaxoon this way, especially, during workshops and trainings. And the added value remains the same. So instead of taking, pictures of your paperboard and sticky notes, you will get the data in one click and from a single place. So it's true that today we speak more and more about, and I think as that you spoke about hybrid, meetings, and we all agree that for remote contributors, it's really hard to follow meetings happening in real. So it's true that the best way to run them is through Klaxoon with a common experience for both parts. So you can see, for example, on the screen, you have people at the office working on Klaxoon, but just for you to know that the people that are remote will be able, to experience the same thing. Because again, sometimes it's quite tricky for people that are working remotely to follow, the idea of the others, because it's difficult to know exactly who is doing what. But through Klaxoon, again, all the information will be gathered in one single place.
Yeah, great. So then we have a question, can we link found interdependencies within the projects, within different teams?
Yeah, maybe I will need more information about, these questions. But as you saw, I think just for you to know that you are able to invite as many people as you want at the end. So it could be one team or different teams, internally or externally. So that's why I was saying that you can also use Klaxoon with your own customers and partners. And maybe what I can say about these questions to speak about interdependencies, it's maybe that just for you to know that we have also kind of feature called network. So it's kind of shared activities, Klaxoon activities. So you can open a network and people can post different activities. So I don't know if it answers this question, but just for you to know that you can create a common file where you will be able to find out, all the templates or all the activities from the others. So maybe it's a way to be able also to share information. So yes, so you can see that directly on the screen. Thank you, Severin. So you have all the activities coming from different people. So it's a way, and it's what we use internally at Klaxoon, to be able to share information and maybe to create some interdependencies between people.
I mean, if the question is a little bit different or we did answer it, please get in touch and we can have a deep dive in it, of course. So two more questions, Teoman. Can we perform tracking on high level of tasks, something like we can do using Trello?
Yeah, no, I think it's quite a good question. So just to say that we are not like directly a project management tool as Trello, but we have some templates on the different library that you saw related to project management. So it's true that using the board, you will be able also to assign tasks. So you will see that on the screen, but you are able, to have kind of a Kanban view where you can create different categories. So main action, highlights, to do next. So in a way, we use board to be able, to use this kind of template. So I don't know if it can do exactly what you are used to do, with Trello or other players. But again, by the template, by using board, you will be able also to assign tasks and to also manage them during the time regarding different categories that you can set up.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. So the last question we have is, can you mention some departments that could benefit the most from Klaxoon?
Yeah, I think, again, really great question. Initially, it was more, the HR part or the learning part, because it was quite related to training at the end. But now I think we can cover all kind of activities and all kind of departments. So I will say at the beginning it was HR and the learning side, but now we have more and more people, in marketing or even communication, internal communication or external communication, because they can use Klaxoon this way. And after, we can think of any department that will need to collaborate. And it's true that nowadays, since again the pandemic, people need more and more, to collaborate with each other. So I took the example of the weekly, and I think every team can use this kind of weekly template to synchronize. And I think it applies, to all team. And again, as soon as you need to collaborate, you will need, this kind of tool to be able to make sure that you are going in the right direction at the end. So again, I think it's quite large. The industries are large, but also the teams within the companies are quite numerous and various.
Yeah, great. Well, I think with that, we have reached the end of the questions. What we will do next, we have on the right on the board, we have a feedback section, where actually, if you are on the board, you can, again, just to experience it yourself, click on the idea and answer the question if the webinar met your expectations. Also, what we will be doing, we will be sharing with you the recorded of that webinar, so you can share it with your colleagues if you want to just them to know about more about Klaxoon and Teams. The link to the board will also be shared, so we encourage you to go back to the board, try it yourself, try to add few ideas. So feel free to add anything on the board. I mean, we will be using. You can use it to experience Klaxoon. Of course, to remind you about the webinar special offer, so 3 months free trial as well as free consultancy to set you up. So these are kind of important points if you want to kickstart your journey with Klaxoon. And of course, being Teams app, it's making the experience much more smooth, where we can, from a single platform, which is Teams, you can access Klaxoon and do your work there and easily collaborate with the rest. I think with that, there are no more questions, so I don't see more questions on the chat. I think, Teoman, if you want to say a few words before we can close.
Yes, of course. No, I think, again, thanks, Ezat, for the invitation. I'm really glad, to be able also to address your customers and prospects. I think we did a tremendous work, in Europe, but now we are ready also to expand outside of our region. And I hope, and we hope, all Klaxoon to be able also to address your customers and to help them first to better collaborate and maybe to go faster and faster in the business. So again, I'm really glad to support your own customers, and I hope also quickly that I will be able also to travel and maybe visit you and your own customers in real, because yeah, I think it's a great way also to meet them and to accompany them. So yeah, thanks again.
All right. Yes. Thank you all for attending. Thank you again, Teoman, for participating. And we're here to support you. So anytime, get in touch. And yeah, until our next webinar, take care of yourself. Thank you. And have a good day.
Thanks again. You too. Bye bye.